Already going.
Okay, what's up, guys? We are here today to share our little love story with you.
We're super excited. I'm sure you've seen us posting more on Instagram, TikTok, and all the different social media apps. So we thought, you know what, we should start a YouTube so we can actually tell our life story and specifically how we met and what that story looks like. So we're excited to kind of let you guys in on the journey of some high school sweethearts. And we do have the babies today. They just ate, so they might be happy, but we'll see how many cuts this takes.
I guess we'll start out with introducing ourselves a little bit. My name is Larissa Beeston Dean. I am the youngest of 4 kids. I was born in Arizona, but I moved to Utah when I was about 6 years old. So Utah is home for me and we love it here. I am a new mom of 2 beautiful little babies. This is Summer and Boston. They are twins. It was the craziest experience ever. But we're so happy to have them here with us. So, yeah.
Name's Spencer Dean. Me and Larissa have been married now for 2 years, and we're excited to start this journey with this channel and excited to see what becomes of it and what we're able to share with you guys. And today we wanted to share basically our love story. We were high school sweethearts, and we've dated for a long, long time. And through mission, through breakups, through a whole bunch of turmoil, we ended up here today with these 2 beautiful kids, and we're living the dream. So wanted to share our story with you guys today. Let's jump in. So we both went to Skyridge High School together. We met when I was a sophomore and Larissa was a junior. I know she is a year older in school.
Cougar.
She is a cougar
by 2 months and 2 days.
2 months. So not a crazy cougar, but there was a period where she was in college and I was in high school, and so I did get to say I had a college girlfriend. So that was pretty cool. Growing up, I was actually pretty shy, and Larissa was shy as well. So starting a YouTube is something that's actually kind of outside our comfort zone. So we're excited to see ourselves grow through this experience. But my parents, when I was younger, growing up, starting in high school, they challenged me to do student council, and I thought, student council, I don't really want to do student council. That didn't seem like something that appealed to me, but they thought it'd be a great way to get me out of my comfort zone and get me to try something new. I ran for student council. I ended up on intramurals, and I met a good friend who was also one of Larissa's best friends at the time while I was doing student council. And it was our very first year. I was 16 years old, and I was trying to figure out who to ask to homecoming. Homecoming was coming up that September, and school just started that August. And so we were kind of, right there. I was just starting high school, and she's like, you know what? You should ask my friend Larissa. And I thought, Larissa, she's like, Larissa Beast. I'm like, oh, okay. Looked her up on Instagram, like, oh, she's actually really pretty. But I was obviously too scared to talk to her, approach her, anything like that. And so I thought, I'm going to ask her to the dance. And so fast forward a couple weeks, and we go to a football game together, went and stood by her, and I'm so awkward, don't know how to interact. And I ended up talking to her. And the first thing that I said to her, what did I say to you again?
Said something like, you don't talk much. And I fired back and was like, yes, I do. And that was our only
that was our interaction. No, it was seriously is like, I'm trying to talk to her. It felt like she talked, and instead of saying something smooth or like, hey baby, or I don't know, some cool pickup line, I made myself sound like a dweeb and just blurred out like, you don't talk very much. So that was our very first time talking, our first experience. So fast forward, I decided, okay, I'm going to ask her. She's really cute. And I think it was like something along the lines of, my heart would burst if you didn't go to homecoming with me, or something like that. Starburst, yep. And I left that there. And later I found out she actually wasn't excited to go with me.
Well, okay. One of my really good guy friends was going to ask me, and I knew that, and I knew he was on his way over to ask me. So when I put together the name and it was Spencer, I was like, oh, I'm going with some random kid that I don't even know. I'm going to be in a group with random people, not my close group of friends, because they were all going to be in the same group together. So yeah, I would say I was a little disappointed.
And I guess, to be fair, I made you look at all the starbursts to see the name that was written in Unscramble. I forgot that. So you thought maybe you were asked by that Fred. No joke was on you. You just got asked by this random dude, being the introvert that you were. You're like, this is uncomfortable.
I'm like, oh, great. I have to be social.
So you answered me back and you left. What did you do? You left a whole bunch of signs.
I did the song Call You Maybe? Call You Maybe?
Call me. No. Hey, I just met you.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. Here's my number, so call me maybe. Right? Yeah, call me maybe.
And I gave him my phone number because he didn't even have my phone number when he asked me.
We were just Snapchatting. I got her Snapchat, luckily, and that was that. So we gear up, we're talking, getting ready to go to the dance. And I remember we picked like the worst, most nerdy date ever. I mean, it was fun. Like, it was cool for some people, but I felt bad asking Larissa. What we did was we went to some place called the Space Center, which it was literally, what? Was it an old elementary school? Like,
yeah.
What was it?
It was an old elementary school that they had turned into like an educational, like, space building thing. Like the activity was in like an old amphitheater. There was a stage and little tiers with like on each tier there was little desks with computers.
Basically, we all had jobs to do. The goal was we were supposed to save the world or save the ship. I can't even remember. I mean, that shows how much I was invested in the game. I was more invested in her. But we jokes on us. So we get there and we don't even get to sit by each other. We get the same job. We're like engineers, but one of us has to sit at the top of the room, like the amphitheater. One of us has to sit at the bottom. And so I'm trying to walk back over like, this is our first date. Though our only interaction up to this point was, hey, in person was, hey, you don't talk very much. And now I'm trying to like get to know her and break the ice with somebody who really didn't talk very much. So we're trying to figure it out. Got in trouble a couple of times. They told me to go back. And that was the date.
After the date, we went to lunch. And I think at that point we were we started the date pretty early in the morning, I remember.
Yeah, we
like,
got it done, yeah.
I didn't even get ready for the date. I look back at pictures and I'm like, I was literally in like a hoodie and leggings and my hair was in a ponytail with like no makeup on.
Was it both of our first dates, right?
Yeah.
Neither of us had ever been on a date. So this is...
But mornings are not my thing. And I think we had to leave at like 8 in the morning for this space center that I was so excited about.
So excited to go to.
But I think by the end, like going to lunch, I think we got to know each other a lot better and we were having a lot of fun. And then we went back, got ready, and Spencer came to pick me up at my house, and I just remember him. He probably, remembers this too. But
I do.
He knocked on the door, and I opened the door, and he just kind of sat there and was like, holy cow! And my mom just started laughing. She thought it was so funny.
So you open the door and I just am like, this girl is smoking hot, like drop dead gorgeous. And that was like my first reaction was just like total, wow. Oh, wow. And I wish we had a Ring camera back then to actually play that, but it was like, oh my gosh, this girl is drop dead freaking gorgeous. I am, yeah. So I was stoked. So we walk in there. Sarah, her sister-in-law, is like paparazzi taking photos of us. We do the whole pin the thing on. Larissa couldn't figure out how to pin it on, so her mom had to do it. And off we went to the dance. Honestly, the dance is kind of a blur. In high school, most of those dances you just kind of jump and mosh. We found each other for the slow dances, made sure to keep a whole arm's length distance when we were dancing.
Really awkward.
Dance ends, we go to a friend's house. Can't remember what we were doing, but we change our clothes and we go to drop her off at the end of the night. You know how you walk them up to the doorstep, you drop them off, and I'm thinking the whole night, this girl is hot. I really want to kiss her. We had such a great time. I feel like she's into me. I'm going to go in. At the same time, being the timid self that I was, I'm thinking, I don't know if, I can go in for a kiss like that. I don't know how to kiss. I've never practiced. I don't know what I'm doing. So we go walk up to the doorstep, and I remember we walk up there. It's dark. She stands there. She has stuff in her arms, but then she opens the door and walks in. And I'm thinking, so not only am I not going to get a chance to kiss her, I can't even get a hug or anything, So I say some long lines like, had a great night, we'll see you later. And I run back to the car, and my heart's crumbling in pieces like, she didn't even have a good time.
But now I'll tell my side. My hands were full. I couldn't give him a hug because I couldn't move my arms. So in my head, I was opening the door to set my stuff down and was turning around at the same time as he was running back to the car. So I was like, well, okay, see you later.
So our awkward selves got in the way and ruined it. And I remember I actually Snapchatted her last night, or that night, like, something about I had a great time and how I wanted to kiss her. We both knew that it was like a missed opportunity. And I remember just like feeling so bummed, like, freak, dude. Hot date, good night, want to give her a kiss or at least a hug. After that, basically, we start hanging out, we start talking, keep flirting back and forth as you do in high school. I see her in the hall, and I remember like she gave me a hug as like a makeup hug for basically what happened at the doorstep. And I remember she even said, and this is just totally our timid high school selves. We would text each other and say way more stuff than we'd say in person. Like, you text her and, oh, I really wanted to kiss you, or, oh, you looked really cute today, yada, yada, yada. But would we ever say that to each other's faces? No.
Fast forward, we start talking a lot more. We're getting to know each other. We're hanging out. He comes and hangs out with me and my friends. I went on and hang out with him and his friends. Kind of back and forth.
But still no kiss. Not yet.
No kiss. And so he started kind of getting in with my kind of group of friends. And we started what we call car wars. So we would go and write on their cars, and they would write on our cars.
Car wars were the best. They were so fun. You thought they were dumb.
We'd move each other's cars around the parking lot so they couldn't find their car.
You'd put Oreos on their car.
Random stuff. It was really silly, kind of.
But it was a way of flirting. I mean, yeah. It was awkward side hugs and car wars. That was the extent of our friendship, growing relationship was little side hugs with the Pats and the car wars.
Yes. There was a football game, and Spencer and I were getting really close, and so we were hanging out the whole time. I remember all of a sudden him and all my guy friends were gone, and we were like, crap. So me and a couple of my other friends ran out to my car because we were going to try and beat them, get our stuff, and go ride on their cars before they could ride on ours. But by the time we got there, my car was covered in window marker.
Colored in the entire windshield.
Yes.
Every window. She couldn't see. She gets in the car. Remember this. Turns on the wipers to try and clear it. It will not. Like, it is.
It was just smearing it around. I remember thinking, like, I can't drive my car anywhere. I don't know how I'm going to get home. I don't know how we're going to go anywhere to hang out tonight. And then Spencer pipes up and is like, oh, don't worry. I'll drive you.
We can take my car. Oh, okay. Yeah. You can't take your car, obviously, because it's covered in window marker.
Yeah. And so
when I could have just asked her hey, do you want to go hang out? Do you want to go get a, milkshake? Do you want to go on a drive? Like, I could have done that, but instead of doing that, I'm like, oh, let's
do that when you could just color in a whole windshield
and do this whole car. See, this was the extent of our relationship.
Our good friend that actually set us up, her and the guy she was dating at the time, they hopped in the car with us, and the guy she was dating was trying to hook up Spencer, so he's like, hey, turn here, go here, and ended up taking us to, like, this random dead end, like, with a really pretty overlook. And he's like, hey, we're gonna go for a little walk. You guys just hang out. I'm like, okay.
There's nowhere to walk. It is September, like 17th or something, 2017. I still remember the day. It's cold. We're in Utah. There's snow. It's cold. Like, you guys are gonna go on a walk, but I'm picking up what he's putting down. I think she was too. I mean,
sure.
We all kind of like knew, but no one wanted to say anything. I'm like, am I gonna get my first kiss tonight? Like, what's gonna happen, right?
So they get out of the car, and all of a sudden Spencer like turns into professional speed talker. I don't know what was going on.
Like, I was doing the auctions.
Yes, pretty much. Could not stop talking. Just started talking, and then he like took a breath and like I was like, okay, he's gonna kiss me now. And so he like grabs his hat.
Because she's giving me the look the whole time. The look like, oh, I want to kiss. So she keeps giving me the look. I'm like, I don't know how to kiss. I never practiced kissing. I never did the thing with the hands. Do I keep my mouth open? Do I keep it closed? Do I do a little bit of tongue? I don't know. Like. For real though, like what do I do? And Rissy, she had a lot of experience at the time. And this was my first kiss.
So he tries to be all smooth. He gets his hat and he like flips it around and he like starts looking at me like, oh, I'm gonna kiss you. But then he just keeps talking. Like he can't stop talking. And so finally,
I grabbed her and kissed her. I just pulled her in,
right.
Leaned in,
he gave
her a big like 15-second whopper and said, "How you doing?"
I had to grab his face and kiss him so that he would stop talking. And then it was literally just like And then we both just kind of like sat there like, what just happened?
It was 90-10. 90 Larissa and 10% me.
Yes.
I will.
I'll give you the 10 with the hat and.
I'm not going to sit here and gaslight
you. Didn't resist my.
It was a cute little peck, and that was it. But I can tell you, it was like sparks. Everybody when they get their first kiss, and I'm 16 at this point, hadn't kissed a girl yet. I guess late bloomer for some of you guys. Just remember like coming home with, yes, 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 yes. I remember when we were leaving, I'm like, oh, we might have to do that again, or that was, something stupid. And she's like, oh yeah, maybe another time. So I'm thinking, I'm so stoked, but was I not very good? Like, it's like she probably just like kissed like a cement, just like, kissing a wall.
So babies woke up. So we did had a little family time, played with the babies for a while. So we're picking up today. Picking up where we left off, our first kiss. I think after that, things got pretty serious from there.
One thing led to another, and there was Boston summer just like
that. No.
Just kidding. We basically spent a lot of time together. We hung out often, with basketball in school and cheer for Rissy. We didn't have tons of time to hang out, and so we'd see each other and we'd hang out at school. We'd have the awesome school lunch because we couldn't really go anywhere at the time. Our lunch wasn't long enough, so we'd just sit at the school lunch tables together and have lunch every day, and then we'd hang out, Friday and Saturday nights when we could. So we basically, from September of that year until May, dated. We spent a lot of time together. We hung out. We were, exclusive. And I remember, leading up to that, we were still so new and still young and figuring it out. So it's like we wouldn't kiss every time we saw each other. Be like, hey, little kiss there, and then we'd go a couple days and like, maybe I'll get another kiss. I don't know. And it was fun. It was just a different stage of life, and figuring that out. Dated Larissa's entire junior year, my entire sophomore year, and we got up to basically 2 weeks before school ends, and Larissa's birthday's in May, and so I'm super excited, thinking, great, I have this really cute girlfriend. We've been hanging out all year. We'll finally have a summer where we can go to the pool and not have school every day, and so we'll actually get to see each other. Her birthday's coming up. I'm super excited, thinking about what I'm going to get her, and just really like everything is good. Playing sports, have good friends. The big thing happened.
Larissa broke it off.
And
I just thought we were getting too serious and was worried with my senior year coming up. I thought I was supposed to date a lot of people my senior year and just get to know a lot of people. And so that's what we did. Broke it off, but I feel like we still hung out all the time. I still kept him around because I really did like him. Summer, we still talked all the time. We still hung out occasionally, and Spencer actually decided that summer that he was going to transfer to another school for different reasons. But who knows? For basketball. I was super sad about it because I was excited to still have him as a friend, and we still made that. And we were still really good friends. And it was almost like, put yourself in my shoes. Like, okay, she doesn't want to date me. She doesn't want to be with me. But she still wants to keep me around and keep me as her friend. I was like I really wanted to just stay close to her, but that just didn't sit great. Just like, why? You don't want to be with me, but you want me around? Like, how does that make any sense? And I asked her, it was always the same. And every guy likes to hate this, but you're just, my best friend. And like, I don't want to be your best friend. I want to be more than your best friend. But he did. He was nice to me. And he did stick around, even though I was not the nicest to him. So, young and dumb. Basically what I was. Over the course of that next year of school, when Larissa was a senior and I was a junior at another high school, over the course of that year, we would have like these little flings where we get back together. We'd go 3 or 4 months of talking to other people, having little things here or there, and then we'd go on another date and we'd kiss, and I'm thinking, great, she really likes me, we're getting back together. And then that night, on Snapchat, she texts me, oh, it's not working out, or oh, I really like you, but just want to date other people, don't want to be exclusive. It's the same spiel every time. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You like me, but you don't want to be with me. Make it make sense. Same thing happens. We go to a jazz game, think finally going to get back together, and then boom, same thing. You know what? I don't really want to be with you. We go watch fireworks on the roof, kiss,
Same thing. And I'm thinking, like, there's no hope. Like, she likes me, but she's just, I don't know, like, just wasn't working out. I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing, but it was just kind of like we were in this constant, we knew each other were the one, and then break it off, and just kind of this never ending cycle.
Well, it wasn't until my senior prom I was kind of hanging out with this other guy, and he asked me to prom, and it was all going good. And then I told him I didn't want to really get super serious with him, and that I didn't want to date him, just wanted to keep going where we were going, and things didn't end very well. So I no longer had a prom date to my senior prom. And so Spencer, being the good guy that he was, steps in and saved the day. That night I actually ended up telling him, like, I'm not going to my senior prom, this sucks.
It was in 2 week dress, you already had everything figured out.
I was all ready to go, and then at night there was a knock at my door, and it was a little scavenger hunt. There was a clue on the doorstep. So me and my mom went driving all around to all these different places and ended up back at my house. There was one more clue, and then a couple minutes later he knocked on the door again with roses and asked me to go to my prom. Really saved the day, because I was really sad about it. Senior prom to every senior, really any girl,
well, prom's a big deal. Yeah.
It's a big deal. And so Spencer took me to my senior prom, and I think that's when I realized that I really loved Spencer, that I really wanted to be with Spencer. And I think I kept that to myself for a really long time. I didn't even tell Spencer that until I think...
Well, did we end up together after senior prom?
No, we didn't. No. I didn't tell him.
Did we kissed? Yes. Yeah. I was thinking, we're back, baby. This is it. We're getting back together. This is going to happen. I'm super excited. Sure enough, I get the same text. Not you, it's me. The whole, you can't go out and have a boyfriend senior year. I need to date other people. I really like you. Want to keep our friendship. And I'm just thinking, okay, you know what? This is it. All hope's lost. We've had 4 or 5 different flings. We dated forever. I'm like, it's always been her. I mean, I talked to other girls during that period, but it was always Larissa. It was always her. At that point, I just kind of decided, I don't know what the point is. And at that point, we still talked every day, but I was a lot less, I think, meaningful in my conversation, just because I felt like I just was out of luck. And as much as I love being Larissa's friend, I just want to keep her close. It was almost like texting her, and she would tell me about her other dates, and she'd tell me about the other things she was doing. It will almost hurt too much to do that. I just thought, you know what, as much as I want to keep her close, I don't know if I can keep hearing about all these other things that were going on. So that was kind of where I was at. It was not awesome at all.
After that, we didn't really talk as much, kind of did our own thing that summer, and it wasn't until August that Spencer, this just makes me sound like a crazy person, he started hanging out with a girl pretty seriously.
Not seriously. I was hanging out with a girl for more than 2 months.
I thought it was serious.
She thought it was serious. It was a perception thing.
He was always with her. So I got nervous because I still, from that prom, was like, I love this guy. Can't let him be with anybody else. But I just never told him that. I just kept it to myself. So I sent him a big old novel that said how much I loved him and how much I needed him, and that I didn't want to be with anybody else, and that he was the one for me. And which sounds crazy. We're just 17, 18 years old, and we got back together.
Well, I get that message, and I'm like, no way. Is this real at this point? Because she's like, it's always you. I've always loved you. And I still remember she texts me when she's at the car wash at work. And it was Snapchat. And I'll have to go back and look at my Snapchat. I don't use it anymore. But I had saved all the different messages she had sent me. And I remember thinking, is this real? Is this real life? Are we actually going to get back together? And it was real. I broke things off with the other stuff that I was doing and was right back with Larissa, because it was always her. Like, I came running. I've always known it was Larissa. And at our wedding, when I gave my little speech, I just mentioned how I always knew it was her, and she was always the one. And no matter what I was doing, it was always, I want to be with Larissa. She's my person. We got back together, and this is, at this point, she has already graduated from high school. So she is starting hair school, going off to college, and I'm still going to finish my senior year. And so honestly, I still have a little bit of skepticism, like, okay, sure, she's going off to college. Is she really going to want to date a high school guy? If so, that's freaking sick that I pulled a high school or a college girlfriend. That's kind of what's going on through my head at this point. But I mean, we hit it off. We went on dates all the time. We hung out every single weekend. We saw each other most days. She went to every single one of my basketball games. I went to her hair school and she practiced all this stuff on me, like painted my nails and did color on my hair that wasn't even color. I don't even know how it worked.
It's clear.
Some clear gel stuff.
Cool.
I was her model. She did everything. We spent so much time together, so tons and tons of time, and started at that point to kind of talk about marriage. And I was still in high school, so that seems kind of crazy. Coming up, we knew that we weren't going to get married right away because I was going to go and serve a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. During that time, we're figuring out, okay, where am I going to go? Is she going to wait for 2 years? That's a long time. And so this is kind of in the back of my head, at least. I was going to get my mission call to figure out where I was going to go live for the next 2 years. That was the same week that COVID was coming into the United States. And we went 2 weeks off of school thinking, great, we'll go 2 weeks off. We'll come back and I'll finish out my senior year. And so I went to Vegas with some buddies and we spent the weekend there. And we found out actually, school was going to be canceled for the rest of the year. I remember coming home and thinking, okay, school's canceled. Is my mission canceled? What's going to happen? I'm kind of waiting on guidance because I don't really know what's going on. And at that point, I got my mission call that week and I opened it and we did it on Zoom to not be with everybody. And so I opened my call on Zoom and I remember I opened my call and it said the Texas McAllen mission. And my first thought was, where's McAllen? I was like, where am I going for 2 years? I grew up I lived in San Antonio the first 6 years of my life. And so I know Texas, but for some reason I was like, McAllen, where is that? I did some research and was super excited. And I was called to speak the Spanish language. And I spent 2 years there and they were the most amazing years ever. But I remember before that, leading up to that, thinking, hey, well, there's some pretty big conversations that me and Rissy have. One is, what does the future of our relationship look like? Is she going to wait for me? I mean, she'd kind of mentioned that she might wait, she might not, she might date other people. And so the whole time in my head, I'm thinking, well, okay, is she going to wait for me? I know 2 years is a really, really long time. And so what is going to kind of become of this? And I remember when I was approaching starting my mission in July, I remember having a conversation with Larissa and just kind of level setting like, hey, what does the future look like? Are you going to wait for me? What is your plan while I'm gone? And I told her, I said, I don't think you should wait for me. I think you should date other people. I don't think you should have to wait around, I guess, for 2 years. And I get home, she's around, then it's meant to be, right? And if she was with somebody else, then it wasn't going to be meant to be. And that was kind of my mindset. And I remember asking Larissa, and she, without a doubt, is like, I'm going to wait for you. I know you're the one I want to marry. You're the one I love. I'm going to wait for you. And I remember thinking, okay, really? Like, is she going to? Like, it was kind of like 2 years is a long time. I've never been away. I've never done anything like that. Is she going to wait for me? I honestly didn't think she would. A little bit thought, I mean, she might, but everybody gets all the missionaries get the Dear John letters like, hey, it's been great. It's not you, it's me. I found somebody else. Here's an invitation to my wedding. And I just kept thinking, I really hope that doesn't happen to me.
Well, everyone kept telling you it was going to happen.
Well, yeah, they were like, yeah, she's for sure not going to wait for you. I'm like,
and you'd tell me that. And I'm like, no, wait, let me talk to him.
Like, let me talk. I am. And sure enough, I mean, what happened over those 2 years? Did you go on a single date?
No. I third wheeled a couple dates, and their date actually paid for me a few times.
So he got 2 girls?
Yeah. 2 girls, you could say he's pretty lucky.
Yeah, he was pretty lucky. Well, so I mean, the time came. I remember during those 2 years, we would call every single Monday. You get basically a preparation day where you do all your laundry, you clean your house, and you get to talk to your family at home. But when I was out there, it was you could talk to your family once a week. And I remember we would send each other video recordings because we couldn't talk, but we'd send each other video recordings of, hey, this is what I did this week. How are you doing? And we did that for 2 years. Every single Monday we talked, and I heard about her finishing up hair school. I heard about starting her first job, getting a new car, everything going on at home. And she heard about all the experiences that I was having learning Spanish and teaching people about Jesus and, all the amazing experiences and miracles that I was seeing for 2 years in McAllen. And towards the end of my mission, that kind of question was looming. I mean, Kay, she waited. Now, what's the plan? She's been at home for 2 years. All she's doing, and every girl is thinking about her wedding. She's building her Pinterest board.
2 years, I was planning the wedding. I started my Pinterest board. I had ideas of rings, ideas of venues, ideas for spring, for summer, for fall. I had
the colors for each wedding, with the different options, everything.
Every girl's dream. Your wedding is your big day. You get to pick out a pretty white dress, and we have a big party. We have a reception, and that's kind of our big event is that. And so I was planning a wedding. I was ready for him to come home and asked me to marry him.
So towards the end of my mission, we were emailing back and forth, and she just out of the blue sends me pictures of rings.
Pause. Spencer had asked me if I had started looking at rings, and I said
first off, first okay, well, correct, pause back, pause you. Before that, she's like, I'm like, okay, yeah, when we get home, like, what do you think? So I get home June 21st, and she's like, well, we should get married in September. I'm like, what is that, 4 months? Are you kidding me? Like, you expect me to come home and propose, plan the wedding, and get married? She's like, oh no, the wedding's already planned. Like, I already have the wedding figured out. We're gonna get married. And I'm thinking,
sound like a crazy person.
Kind of word crazy person a little bit.
Every girl looks at rings, and every girl has an idea of what they want, and so that's what I did. And he said, have you already started looking at rings? And I was like, yeah. He's like, so you know what you want? And I said, yeah. He said, oh, send me some pictures. So I did. I didn't just send them out of the blue. He asked, so I sent them.
Yeah, so she sent me wedding rings, and the whole time thinking, like, this is, like, I really like her. She's really pretty, but I'm intimidated. I'm going back to my shy high school self, like, what am I going to do? Like, are we, So basically, the time comes when it's time to go home. And I remember I'm getting on the plane thinking, I'm going to see Larissa today. Like, what are we going to do? Like, am I going to kiss her today? Like, there's kind of a lot of pressure around this because I mean, it's been 2 years. Imagine, you haven't kissed anybody in 2 years. Coming home, you have your smoking hot girlfriend who's there waiting for you. I remember getting at the airport and seeing her and just being like, whoa. It was another one of those, when I saw her that homecoming day, the dance, thinking like, holy crap. It was another one of those like, holy smokes, she is so pretty. During my mission, I had dreamed about hugging her. I thought about her all the time, like, oh, I'm so excited to give her a hug and just to wrap my arms around her and just pull her tight. And so I remember what that felt like to give her a hug. And I remember the feeling of, grabbing around her back and holding her close. And so when we got to hug at the airport, it was just such a cool moment. It was seriously awesome. It was really cool.
It was really cool. But Spencer was also really awkward. He kind of turned into a little robot. It was super nervous, so he's like, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Not saying that our hug wasn't the best thing ever. It was like fireworks everywhere. It was just funny because I was like, uh-oh, who is this guy? He doesn't know how to talk to people. He's been talking to people for 2 years, and now he's just a robot.
He's a robot.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. But it was honestly the best day ever, getting to see him again. Waiting for 2 years, it was a long time.
That is a long time. 2 years is a really long time. All right, Boston wanted to join the video. He woke up. He's ready to play. Summer's still sleeping. So yeah, welcome, buddy. So anyways, yeah, get home from the mission, and that very first day, I remember get home, see all my family. We're hanging out that day, and that night we hot tub at my parents' house, and we're in the hot tub. Everybody leaves, and it's just me and Larissa sitting there, and we're talking, and it's like total flashback to the car. Our first kiss. 5 or 6 years before, however long it was a really long time before. And she keeps giving me the look, and I'm so nervous, thinking like, holy smokes, like, am I going to give her a kiss? Like, how is this going to, I've been waiting for this moment for 2 years. And I remember that time I was a sly dog, and I leaned in and kissed her. So
he did.
That was me.
And there was fireworks there too.
There was fireworks there.
So
that was true. So then after that, basically after that, we jump right back in. My parents on my mission had moved across the street from her parents. So instead of driving back and forth, it was as simple as walking across the street to drop her off and then walking home. And then we literally spent every day. The second I got home from, work or school, the second she got home from work, we were hanging out. And it was like nonstop, Spencer and Larissa. The whole time I'm thinking, Kay, we're not getting married in September. That's too soon. But when are we going to get married? Because I know it's her. She waited for me, like we're together. There's nothing stopping us now at this point. And so we decided we should probably at least start to go ring shopping, because I'm, getting more adjusted to being at home and feeling like, yeah, I could get married. I still love her. So we go ring shopping, and she wants, this customized ring with 2 bands and this, that, and the other. And in there, the guy tells us, yeah, it'll be 8 weeks. And I think they just tell you long every time. Don't they? They just tell you a really long time when you go in. So then later they send me an email, like, actually we knew it in 3 weeks. And so the whole time Larissa's thinking, okay, he's going to get the ring in probably October, November. Maybe I'll get engaged then. We'll get married in January. We had our date planned in January, and it was 011223.
Yeah.
011 January 1st. No, January 12th. Sorry, January 1st, these guys' birthday. January 12th, 2023. So 011223. Yeah.
Got it.
The number. Anyway, so I have the day planned. Now I'm like, hey, need to get the ring. Larissa's been planning the wedding for like 7 years at this point. So it's all figured out. She has the colors. She has the venue. She has everything. And I remember they told me we can get it to you in 3 weeks. And so I'm so excited. I'm going to surprise her. And our entire time that we've been together, I've tried to do surprises, whether it's just spontaneous flowers, whether it's, just little things here or there. I've tried to be a surprise guy. So I thought, okay, I'm going to surprise her. I'm going to get all of her family there, all of her siblings, her parents, and my siblings to meet up at the last location, which would end up being the place that we had first kissed all those years ago. And that's where I was going to propose. And so I sent her on a scavenger hunt to go around all the places.
Yeah, he tells me that we are going to an awards dinner for his dad, for his work. So he's like, dress nice, probably don't wear jeans, you can wear pants, but just wear something cute, get all fancy. And I'm like, no jeans, okay, but I can wear pants, alright. And so then I was like,
do your makeup, do your nails,
yes.
You're going to want, it's like nice, but not too nice.
So I had just got my hair done.
The whole time you're probably thinking like, how does that make any sense? Okay, it's not nice, but not too nice. Okay.
Yeah. And so I got all ready for the day because I was all excited to go get all fancied up. So I got all dressed and I went over to his house, and I remember we were watching a basketball game or something. I don't remember. And then the game was over and he had to get ready, and he's like, okay, you can just go home and I'll come get you. And I was like, all right.
You're just going to change your clothes. Why don't I just stay here? I'm like, oh, no, go home. I
was like, I'm already here. And he's like, just run home. Maybe get a snack because I don't know what time we're going to be eating. So just go grab something and then I'll come get you. I was like, all right. So I went home and was just sitting in my living room waiting for him. And my family was all leaving. They're going to the Utah game. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just sitting here by myself. And then there's a knock at the door, and I'm like, oh, there's Spencer. So I grab up and go, and it's actually his little sister, and she's got like a flower or something in a little card. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna propose. He's gonna propose.
You thought of it right away?
Yeah.
What? I thought it was like a surprise.
No.
Are you serious?
I knew as soon as I was doing a scavenger hunt, it wasn't just gonna be like...
Oh. Okay, yeah, this is 2.5 years later, and I had no idea. Okay, I thought it was a surprise. Never mind, I wasn't that good.
Well, it was his little sister, and she's like, okay, we're going on a scavenger hunt, and she's videoing me. She's like, but I can't tell you where we're going. So we go all around town. We went to the temple that we were going to get married at. We went to our high school. We went to... where
our first date was, yeah.
All over the place.
We went to our future apartment where we were going to live.
It's all over the place.
Basically everywhere that had, there's like 5 or 6 locations that had like sentimental meaning, whether it was a first kiss or first time I said I love you or where we're going to live, get married, things like that, kind of centered to all those places. And then there's like little gifts, clothes and things, candies and stuff waiting at each spot for her.
It wasn't until we started driving up the mountain that I was like, okay, I think I know where we're going. We're going to where we had our first kiss. And so we're going up there, and we're going around the corner, and I just see this cute little setup. There's like pillows and pictures, and I see Spencer standing there with flowers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really gonna happen. And I'm driving, so I'm like freaking out. And so I don't even think I parked in a parking spot. I think I just
pulled
the car.
Yeah.
I just stopped the car and I got out, and that was one of the coolest moments ever. Just walking up, seeing him standing there with flowers, and he met me halfway, I think, from walking up, and walked me over to the little spot that he had all set up. It was so cute. And basically, I mean...
She said yes.
I said yes.
All the questions, she said yes. We had all of our family.
All of our family was there. I didn't even see them. They were all hiding. And so they were cheering for us. And that was a pretty cool day. We had a little bottle of Martinelli's that we popped open and
celebrated.
And and he surprised me and got me my dream ring, which we also kind of discussed. I remember before that. Oh no.
Oh. That's what Boston thinks of that.
We discussed before that we were going to be able to we were going to be able to get that ring, that we were going to compromise and maybe get a second band for like our first anniversary or something. And he surprised me and got me the whole thing. So,
well, you know, to pay for the ring, I had to sell a hot tub and do a whole bunch of odd jobs to pay for it. But hey, it worked out right.
We got engaged and we had our date set for January 12th.
Everyone kept trying to tell us, like, you should push it off till the spring, you know, wait until April or May, wait till it's nice outside. But we're like, you know what, we need to get married. But we ended up having the most perfect, like, sunny, beautiful day in January.
We had green grass in all of our pictures.
Yeah. Oh, bless you, bud. So just the most beautiful, amazing day. And we start off our forever journey, and here we are today. I mean, spoiler alert, this was our love story. We'll do, you know, future videos where we talk more about, you know, finding out we're pregnant and, you know, more in-depth dates and things like that. We'll tell a lot more, but just in this first one, we want to, you know, talk about our story. And the one thing I do want to say is, like, forever I've known it was Larissa. It was always her. She was my rock. She was the person I knew I want to be together with forever and, you know, start my life off with. She's the one that I knew would be the mother of my babies. And, you know, I can't believe we're blessed to have two. We just have one in here that our daughter's sleeping. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. If you didn't watch it, then that's okay. But appreciate you guys get through the end.
Thanks for watching. We love you guys.
See ya.